Companion Quest from Ghostfire Gaming checks a lot of boxes for us. Has gnomes. Me and the youth love gnomes. Dice rolling. I love to roll dice. Cute artwork with the companions. I enjoy artwork. Bri really loves artwork. The youth likes artwork when it appeals to them, and these do. It is a co-op game, which means we can all work together, which is always a plus in general as well. But don't take my word for it just quite yet. Let me show you how it plays, and after that, I will tell you my thoughts on this. To set up Companion Quest, you are going to shuffle a deck of companions, make a display of 3. You're going to have the little treats out here in stacks. You're going to have the main game board. You are going to put the dice to kind of match their designated areas around the board. You're going to put the gnome on the house. You're going to put Goo Goo on the green spot. You are going to make up a stack of locations. You're going to choose a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. You're going to put them in increasing order, so the 1 on top, 4 on the bottom. You're then going to take a little gnome hat, put in this little portal right there. You're going to create the challenges. You are going to grab as many threats for the difficulty level you want. The base one is 2 threats and 10 challenges. You're going to shuffle those up, make 3 stacks of 4, and flip over the top one. Each person is going to choose a gnome to be. You're going to put it up on the side with the power, and it shows who their beginning companion is. In this instance, Crumble's beginning companion is Prost. You're going to see the starting player gets 2 treats. Make sure everyone gets this little player A that shows the turn structure and what you can use the snack tokens for. At that point, you are ready to begin. So on a player's turn, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to see how many dice points they got. That is depicted here on the board, so we start with 3. You're going to check the land that you're in and see if anything is affecting this. In this instance, all dice cost 1 point. Typically, dice over here cost 1, as shown here, and dice over here cost 2, as shown here. You're going to want to look at the challenges and what goes on in this land card to determine what dice you might want to get. So let's go ahead and say we're going to grab this die, and one of the purple. You're then going to roll the dice and then see about filling in any of these challenges or moving on the map. When you look at these challenges, you'll see there's a few different ways that you can go about this. You have like this unstable portal, for instance. You just need to put 3 dice here, but you cannot place dice of the same number on this challenge, and this middle one needs to be a purple die as denoted there. You look at a difficult choice. This one wants a 5, 3, and 2 of those denoted colors, or an even green and an even red or orange and black swirl. Time slipping needs a yellow die, but this plus this needs to equal this minus this. So a little bit of math there, trying to get the 2 sides to equal. When you look at your land card, to move to this next spot, we need an odd purple die. So now let's look at what we can do with the dice. So we have these numbers. We're going to look at Prost. So Prost, choose 1. You can add 1 to a die, or turn a die to a 5. The numbers do wrap, so if I added 1 to a 6, it would become a 1. If I subtracted a 1 from a 1, it becomes a 6. So in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to choose one of these dies, and we're going to turn this one into a 2. At this point, I will point out this is a prototype copy, because these are considered yellow dice. So now that I have this 2, I'm going to place it on this location right here. Now by placing a yellow die, I look at my companion, they have a yellow symbol there. That means they get refreshed. If I had multiple companions that had a yellow die and they were all exhausted, I would only be able to choose 1 to refresh. They don't all refresh. So now he's refreshed. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to turn this 6 into a 5. I now have an odd purple, so I will use that, and my hat moves on. I now have this red 2. And we will say, let's just go ahead and place it here. Alternatively, what I could do is, if I don't know where I want to place this yet, because I don't want to lock it into this -1, or maybe I can't manipulate anymore, alternatively, I can pass this to the next player to take their turn. After I am done with all of that, we're going to see a couple of things. First thing you're going to check is, did you complete the quest? By completing the quest, you would be all the way here at the portal. We have not. Next thing you're going to look at, did you solve any of these portal problems? By solving them means you have to have the dice in all the spots. We did not. So if you did not solve any of these portal problems, Goo Goo is going to move a step forward. Had we solved 1, he stays where he is. If we were able to solve 2 on 1 turn, he is going to move backwards 1 space. There is one other type of portal problem card I want to highlight, and that is these danger cards. So you have this danger, you see it has this danger symbol. When one of these are face up, you are going to take this danger token, you're going to place it on the quest card. As long as this danger is showing, you are not allowed to advance on this quest card. Instead, you need to try and get rid of this danger. The danger, you'll notice, are a little different. They don't depict dice spots. They have a health total, in this instance 13. You need to meet or exceed that number in order to get rid of that danger. And they have different abilities. For instance, this heavily armed mouse. -1 to any die you place on this danger to a minimum of 1. So even if I place a 1 on there, it is still considered a 1. But once you would defeat the danger, they would go away, this danger token would go, and you can now move upon the land more. Unless the next card is also a danger, in which case the danger token would go back on to this location. If you are able to complete a quest, what you're going to then do is you are going to flip it over and follow the steps. So the gnomes catch up to Gugu. Move the gnome meeple 1 space to the right. If at that point you have landed on Gugu, you have won. You have caught Gugu. If you have not, keep going. Discover new companions in the wild. You'll discard these and deal out new ones. And here is where I will correct my mistake. There's actually supposed to be 4 creatures out in the wild, not 3. I will have made a notation of that earlier. So you'll discover new companions in the wild. You're then going to gain some stuff. So in this instance, I would get one of these, and then you get a companion. You're going to draw one from the top of the deck and add it to your area. Second player would also do the same thing, and now you'll notice ongoing we have 4 points to spend on top on the dice, and we now have a new location with new areas to try and discover and a new rule up here. Treat tokens. You can use treat tokens in 3 different ways. You can use 1 to tame a wild companion. So I could just return that to the supply and say I am going to take this crabbit, and it comes down into my tableau area with the rest of my companions. I can use it to gain any die. So even these ones that cost 2, I can turn in a treat and grab a purple die. Finally, I can use it to ready a resting companion. So I could just do this, and Prost is now refreshed. You'll notice your gnome also has an ability. This is a 1-time per game ability. Once you use it, you'll just flip your gnome card over, which shows that the ability has been used. So again, you are going to go until you catch up to Gugu, or if Gugu reaches this portal, Gugu has escaped and you have lost. That is the basics of the game. There is a few more rules I'll leave you to discover on your own, but let's go ahead and hear my thoughts on this game. So there you have it. That gives you a rough idea of how to play Companion Quest. As you saw there, and as you'll see here on the screen being displayed, lots of cool artwork. The companions themselves looks really cool. A lot of different varying abilities and ways to help you really mitigate those die rolls as you play. So with that, let's go into some more deep dive of this. So for me, when you initially look at this game, you are thinking it's going to be light, it's going to be easy, it looks like a kiddie game. No, there is quite a bit of depth to the decisions you have to make and how you have to balance and manage the things. This is not going to be some cakewalk, easygoing, in the park thing. We did manage to win in our first playthrough, but it literally was by the seat of our pants, Hail Mary one of, you know what, I'm going to grab these dice, I'm going to spend my treats, you're going to give me the special power, I'm going to trigger this to be able to roll these dice to try and do it, because if I don't, then Gugu is going to escape. So it wasn't one that we easily got through. It was one that we really had to plan our way out, really discuss it, really manage how we're going to spend our dice, when we're going to use our characters' abilities, when we're going to use our companions, which companions to grab, how to spend those treats. So there is just this large array of decisions that will need to be made in this game. It is not going to be this simple, just chuck dice, place them, hope you win. No, you are going to have to strategize. You're going to have to make sure you're paying attention to those different lands, the way that they interact with your dice. One of them is when you place a die, you have to re-roll all of your dice. So make sure that, the die that you really want to make sure you can use, you use first. Otherwise, you may not be able to roll it again. That's also a land where maybe your companions come into better play because they are going to help you mitigate every time you're rolling. And initially you might think, well, I'll just get a bunch of companions that refresh on the same color. But they don't all refresh on one die, and you don't want to make it so you're always rolling all these blue dice or always rolling all the yellow dice, etc. You do want to have that variety in color to open yourself up for the possibilities of rolling more colors and maneuvering that. And as I said, the gnome powers all seem fairly powerful and let you do some cool things, but it's once per game. So, do you do it at the beginning to try and wait where you guys aren't put into such a hole, or do you wait for that end one where it is literally, do this or we lose, so we need to make sure we have that power available. So just being able to manage that as well. As I said, really cool artwork. It really kind of sucks you in where you're thinking, this will be a fun little family game. And then you'll find you're all just kind of sitting there staring at it, trying to figure out, all right, which dice do we really want to use? And is this going to be the best option? And why don't this turn, you focus on this, you keep Google where he is, and hopefully you can set me up next turn. I can do 2, push him back, and then we can get to the land and catch him. So just trying to get through that. This is a prototype. The prototype rulebook that I read through worked really well. They are really making sure that this is going to be easy for you to jump into. This is going to be one that they're going to make sure it's explained. There's a lot of wonderful touches that I've already seen in this prototype version that makes me excited for what they're going to do in the final version. This seems like a game that they are taking care in. They are making sure that players are going to be able to experience it and have a fun time with it and not be bogged down by a bunch of what ifs or looking here or moving there or all that. Their focus can solely be on the game and enjoying that experience. So if you are looking for a game that is fun artwork, that has really fun, tense decisions in a co-op version that everyone can really work together and optimize what they're doing, then this is going to be it for you. If you are looking for an easy breezy, walk in the park co-op game, this is probably not going to be for you because Gugu is going to be constantly moving at the end of everyone's turn. So you are going to be having to make sure you are prioritizing decisions. So that is my thoughts on Companion Quest. If you head down below, there is a link to where you can check out the campaign. Follow the campaign if it's not live yet. Back it if it is, if this is a game that interests you. Also down there, you can go ahead and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell for this channel. You also could help support the channel in a variety of ways by joining our Patreon, hitting up our Ko-fi, or joining the channel to get exclusive membership perks such as early access to videos and member-only videos and polls. All right, so get out there and catch that Gugu.